Check it out.
I don't see him.
I know, I hate Philadelphia. Okay, so the green.
Would you say, okay, this is what is going to be? It's never changed.
Yeah, so
Namanda, 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 namanda.
I'm Joan DiStefano, a longtime member here, and I feel honored to be able to do the presentation this morning. So, it's our monthly Shotsuki service, and I will be the chairperson for today. Reverend Fujimoto will read the names of those who have passed away in the month of February. Those observing the monthly memorial for loved ones, please come forward and offer incense.
Good morning. Welcome to our Shotsuki service for February. I'll read the names of the members that we have on our list, and the families can please come up and offer incense during this time. Abe Hikaru, Abe Honji, Bailey, Jody, Hayame Shigeru, Hayashi Hanae, Hirai Nobukichi, Hisoka Toranosuke, Honda Akiko, Ito Infant Asako, Ito Hiroshi, Ito Yasuko Ann, Iwataki Koyuki, Iwataki Nami, Kato Jenny, Kato Joshua, Kato Roy. Kano Ichi, Kawabata Reiko, Kawahara Hideo, Kawakami Yoshimatsu, Kawamura Masumi, Kobashi Shigeichi, Kono Eiko, Kozen Infant Kenjiro, Matsumoto Infant Masaru, Matsuo Infant Shin, Matsuzaka So, Mifune Mitsue, Miyake Betty Tazue, Momi Yutaka, Nakamura Amy, Nakamura Shinsuke, Nakayama Yutaka, Nita Infant Kazumi, Nishida Hamako, Noda Infant Hisashi, Norie Infant Mutsuo, Ogi Hitoshi, Okino Wataru, Okita Toshiko, Otsu Kanzo, Shibata Grace, Shimada Kiwa, Shiraishi Misao, Sugiyama Keiichiro, Sumimoto Masae Wada, Sunakawa Incent Tsunetada, Sueyasu Sakae, Suzawa Infant Yoshimi, Tajima Misa, Takagi Shinichi, Takano Masaki Mas, Takara Shohei, Toshiro Toshiko, Tawara Infant Kaeo, Togiwata Keiichi, Togiwata Infant Mitsuo, Tomotoshi Infant Fumiko, Tsuchiya George, Ushijima Infant Kenjiro, Wada Kana, Yamagata Katsuichi, Yamanaka Ben, Yamaoka Noboru Oscar, Yoshida Iwazo, Yoshimura Infant Kuniko, Yoshiwara Tomio T. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of February. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Thank you.
And now we'll have Sutra chanting and Hyo Byaku Mon. So it would be Sambujo on page 24 and 25, followed by the reading of Hyo Byaku Mon, purpose of the service. Starting with Amida Kyo on page 103. Chapter on 24 and 25.
Today, on the occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of February, members of our temple families have come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namu Butsu, Namu Ho, Namu Soul. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Samanda, Samanda. Amida Kyo, page 103. 千二百五十人空海税大穴観衆小知識長老シャリホマカモケンメマカカショマカカセンネマカクチライハタシュリマンダガナンダアナンダタゴラドンアダイキンスルアナダアヌヤイマカコヒンナアクラアヌルダヨセトショダイデシヨショモサマカサシリヨジアイタモサセンダガダイモサショショジンモサショニョゼトショダイモサシャクダイカニント無料商店大祝二時五日後長老者利法重税裁法果十万の不分道不正解の圧極楽合同不分語阿弥陀根源在説法者利法理道学校道理極楽国修上無宿単純小楽公明極楽シャリ法極楽国道四十何十四十羅門四十五十改正四法修相異行名行異国道松極楽無舎利法極楽国道無執法知薬毒水十万道中四体順理根社無事四変街道根根ルリアリ五条道の各逆に根根ルリアリ社交釈衆名の二言直視自中連携大名者利小式証拠大式陽光釈式釈光着式薬光微妙高血者利法極楽国土小重量税空毒将軍無舎利法理部国土調査見学黄金一昼夜六時理由曼荼羅家東国修上上位小単各位英国上主要系空量打法十万六仏即位直事件と本国本直教業舎利法極楽国土上重量税空毒将軍物資舎利法非国上部修順奇妙雑式市長薬国着法務舎利下領民が無名市長税所収書長や六時水和霊音高音延長高根合力七宝大分八正道分行政東方行動修正音税音理解 質念仏念法念祖シャリ法上仏一心超実絶祭法少少少異者が異部国土無三幕主シャリ法五部国土小無三幕上司名家教実名称宗長大勢阿弥陀仏欲よ大温泉図演芸少佐シャリ法異部国土二府水道小法五十九法ナモ水味妙利妙百千十学同時空差門税恩赦開示念上念仏念法念相死心シャリ法大部国土小十行税空毒症Now we'll have the first Gatha. Please stand for the Gatha Namu Amida Butsu on page 174. And remain standing for the reading of the three treasures on page 8. Reverend Fujimoto will lead.
Adorn our way.
to page 8.
Treasures, number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we're able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Now Reverend Fujimoto will share a Dharma message with us. Okay?
Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning again, everyone. Okay. Today's our very important Shotsuki service for February. Shotsuki service is a very meaningful service, and we're able to remember the important people who have influenced our lives. We chant sutras, we offer incense, and we surround ourselves with temple friends, and we utilize the comforting ritual to direct our attention, direct our thoughts to those who have touched us very deeply in our lives. Please join me in Gassho, and I'll read this wasan from Shindan Shonin. Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion in number, shine brilliantly from within each flower. There's no place they do not reach. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Okay. Thank you. This is one of my favorite wasans, and it points to beams of light shining from each entity, each person, each of us, outwards towards everyone in our circles. So this light is also the infinite light of Amida, shining towards each of us. So this light from the realm of the infinite touches us, and through us touches the people who are in our circles, whether in our families, in our Sangha, our friends. And as Shin Buddhists, this is our view, our perspective of life. Light touching, infinite light, the light of Amida, touching us and reflecting from us outwards, okay? Coming in, going out. So Amida and the Pure Land are functions of life, not a dream, not a hope for something better or a heaven to go to when we die, but a description of this life that we are living right now. Okay. So today we're going to talk about Goen. Goen means fortuitous encounters. Okay. Sometimes in the English language, you might hear something about something will happen that you don't expect to find. It's, oh, small world. Or a moment of what they might call serendipity. But I think, when I think of those words, small world, serendipity, they have a sense of, this is my perspective, something that's happening to me. And here at the temple, through Buddhism, we talk more about causes and conditions, the infinite cause and conditions. Goen, fortuitous encounters, and it kind of has more of a sense of connection beyond the self, not just something to do with me, from beyond me coming towards me, like the light. Okay. And while we're on this, I think last week we were talking about Ask Reverend Dennis, and one of the questions that was brought up was, what happens to those who aren't Buddhists, right? And we were talking about the Pure Land as sometimes described as somewhere you go when you die or something like this. But we want to remember that the Pure Land is the realm of the infinite, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion, infinite light, the realm of Amida. So it's all inclusive. Everything, everyone is included in this perspective. Okay, so everyone is welcome. So even those who are not Buddhist are welcome. Okay, so when we talk about the Pure Land and we're referring to infinite, we're not saying the far left quadrant of infinite, right? There's no sections of infinite. It's all inclusive. That's why we are all included. Everyone is included in this perspective. And I think when young ones ask about, sometimes they have very deep questions. And when they ask such questions, we keep it truthful. At the same time, we keep it simple. So everyone is welcome. Everyone is included. Okay. So some may not be aware, right? When we come to the service, we talk about awakening, the Shinjin moment of awakening, the occurrence of awakening and things like this. And this is our connection that we come to. And maybe someone does not come to that. So they end up in this infinite during their lives. They're in this infinite. But their awareness of it may not be completed, right? But that aspect of it does not have to be explained to every single person. It kind of depends on where they are in their lives. Okay, so I just wanted to add that. So we come to these Shotsuki services and we honor the people that the names that we read. So many people have mentioned that, particularly when we say infant so-and-so, it's kind of touching that someone barely beginning their lives, and now they're already included on our Shotsuki list. Okay? But each of these persons touched our lives, okay? Because Grandma and Grandpa were here. Mom and Dad were able to live, to meet, and that's why I'm here, okay? Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion in number, shining brilliantly from within each flower. There's no place they do not reach. So their lives stretching out, this light moving on, touching the next generations, touching their friends, and it comes to touch me. Without them, we wouldn't even have our lives today. Okay. Oftentimes we talk about Indra's net, okay? Brilliant jewels, all connected infinitely. And all these jewels are shining the light of the jewels next to them. So each jewel, different shape, different color, different form. And we are those jewels, right? We're all connected, interconnected, shining this light that comes from beyond us and shining through us to these other jewels. And sometimes I've used a picture of a spider web in the morning. Okay, you might have seen this maybe a few times. You walk out in the garden, all of a sudden there's a spider web with dewdrops or maybe raindrops all collected on the web, and each of those are reflecting the light. You could see the next dewdrop in this one, right? And you could see, incredible, amazing, incredible. I had another image of Indra's net, all these spheres, infinite spheres, And I thought about showing it on the screen, but extending out, and each of the spheres are reflecting the spheres next to them. And so it kind of looks like this design, but wow, incredible, incredible. Okay. And I thought it doesn't do it justice to show it on this screen. It should be shown on this whole wall and on the ceiling and on the floor and all the walls. Then we would have a sense of what this Indra's net is, right? I thought, wow, that'd be cool, right? And I thought maybe in 5-10 years, some little young nerd sensei is going to be able to do this and show this all, right? And I'll think, I thought of that 10 years ago, you little whippersnapper, right? But that would give us a sense of what Indra's net really is, okay? And hopefully we're able to see this in our lives, how we are connected with one another, how we are touched by people, okay? So when you look at this net, each of these jewels, this is me, right? This one is Amy or Dorothy or Doug, Yumi, each of these brilliant jewels, okay? And I could find, okay, this jewel is Grandpa Fujimoto. He died, but his light still shines. I receive that light, right? And so this is what we are reminding ourselves of when we come to the Shotsuki service, okay? So today I have a Shotsuki story for you, and this is talking about Goen, fortuitous encounters. And so this is talking about a few years ago. When I first moved from the Idaho, Oregon temple, I was asked to come back down to California, and I went to the Sacramento Butsuin, okay? So Idaho, Oregon currently is a temple about Alameda size, and when I went to Sacramento, it's a Butsuin, so many more members, okay? Big temple, and like here, we have so many members, but only, 20-25% come on a Sunday, right? And it depends on their schedule and this and that. So even though Sacramento is a big temple, not everyone comes, so their service is not a huge thing. But during family services, you meet these people that are part of the temple, then you don't see very often, if at all, okay? And when I moved to Sacramento, it was just me, okay? I moved from Idaho, Oregon to Sacramento. Charmin still had responsibilities to take care of her family up there. So she remained back in Idaho, and I went alone. So I lived in someone else's house, just had a little bedroom and kitchen available to me. And I went there. And because they have so many services, so many people, I said, gee, I'm not sure if Fujimoto Sensei can take care of all this. And so I was determined to show them I could do all this. And because there's so many people, sometimes there's 2 funerals in a day, sometimes 3 in 2 days, right? And so, and along with these services, memorials are fitting in all throughout the week. So it does get busy, and you prepare for every service. Don't get them mixed up. Don't mix up the names, right? And so you don't look at this one until you're done with this one. And you line them all up, and you take care of them one by one. Sometimes 10-hour days, 12, 16-hour days. I didn't complain. Just take care of it. Show them you could take care of it. And so this is how time went. And just on occasion, Charmin would be able to come and visit maybe once every 4 months or something, not that often, okay? So usually I was alone, but these services are the times, same as here, when we really get to know the families, okay? Someone passes away and we talk to them. Oh, Mom did this and this and this, and we used to live here, and then we moved to here, and the children did what, the parents did what, and so you get to know them. And so these are the very special times for a minister, for sensei, to come to know these people that kind of hidden away here and there that you don't get to meet. So I had a special service at the home of one of these members. Mary Arita had passed away, And it was in January that she passed away. The children wanted to schedule a service for her, but it's really difficult to coordinate everyone's schedules, right? Calendars. So it was January. That means everyone had come home for the holidays and they went back already. So to come back again is not that easy. So they're trying to see when would fit the best for the family. And time went by. All of a sudden, it's 8 months later. Okay, they couldn't schedule it until August. Still, the family knew that the mother wanted to have a Buddhist name, a Homyo, and so they contacted, when they got everything cleared up, they contacted the temple and asked to schedule a service at the home, a special memorial, and to have the Buddhist name provided to their mother. Okay, it's kind of like a funeral, but in a sense, closer to her 1-year memorial. Okay, and at that service, Mary received her Homyo. And I was there, so the service, not at the temple, but at their living room, okay? Maybe 7 children, spouses, and things, a small gathering. So I'm providing the Buddhist name, leading the chanting, Homyo, presentation of Buddhist name. Shakukaido is hereby presented to Mrs. Mary Arita by the Sacramento Betsuin. Shakukaido may be translated to open the way. Mary now becomes one with Amida and the reality that surrounds us all. In that oneness, she opens the way for us to the truths of existence and the depth of life. Our lives become deeper and more complete as we are caused to consider death, impermanence, and the interconnections that weave our lives. Shakukaido, to open the way. So I read this to them and gave them the Homyo card, and I kind of explained that for me, different senseis have a different way to do their Buddhist names, but to me, the Buddhist name is a description of Amida, not the person who passed away directly. Amida, to open the way. Right? So the people we lost, in this case their mother, opens the way for them to acknowledge, recognize, see Amida. Okay? The reality of oneness. So I'm telling them all of these things. And the family's real so happy that mom got to receive her Buddhist name, and I explained all the things about it. Finally, hopefully, they're able to see what Amida is, okay? Not some kind of deity that's going to take care of us when we die, but we open our eyes to this life, okay? So after the Homyo and my Dharma message, we're talking some more. They're informal, and there's the family altar. All these pictures are sometimes placed on the altar or nearby. So I'm asking about the family pictures, and there were mom and dad and 2 sets of grandparents. They're all there, and they kind of organized it and made it nicer because sensei's coming to the house, right? So they're telling all the stories of how the connections go and, what they each did. Stories, Mom had grown up in Fallon, Nevada. I don't know anyone else who lived in Fallon, Nevada, but the family grew cantaloupe. That must be a tough thing, it's hard, life picking fruit, but cantaloupe are heavy, right? So, wow, cantaloupe farmers, okay. Dad had won 4 Purple Hearts touring Europe and lost an eye. So he was handicapped in his life, and they're telling me all these things. And so after they went through a lot of their family, I wanted to, make sure, introduce myself and telling about, how I moved from California. My father had been in Sacramento. I moved to Eastern Oregon and was there for a number of years. That's where I met Charmin, my wife, okay? And in Charmin's family, her father had 2 brothers, so 3 Satomori brothers, right? And they were farming in that area in Eastern Oregon. Many farmers there. They're growing onions, potatoes, grain, and wheat. Okay, and so the 3 Satomori brothers worked together farming. And there's one sister, Elaine. So she got married and moved to Sacramento. Okay, so she's in Sacramento. So when Charmin was young, she would go with her mom, go and visit, stay a couple of days, couple of weeks with Auntie Elaine. And so they stayed there. She would know the walking distance to the local grocery stores, you know, pulling a wagon with the kid's sister and sitting in the wagon, and the other cousins are Charmin's age. They would play together and visit, not that close, not that far from the Sacramento Zoo, so I think they went there too. So Auntie Elaine was not Buddhist, okay? She's not Buddhist, but she lived in Sacramento for many, many years. Elaine Sugiyama on Sheila Way, okay? So before all this service happened, Charmin had a time to come and visit me. So she came to the Betsuin and she came to my office, and she's looking around. She sees a paper on my desk. So what's that? And she noticed it. I didn't think anything of it. It's just describing the next service. But she notices the address, Sheila Way, where her aunt lived. So what is that? I'm doing this service for a Mary Arita. And so I talked to her about it, explained it, that I would be going there. So, you know, because of the address, she called her cousin. Do you know the Arita family? Do you know this Mary Arita? And so asking, and they live on Sheila Way. So the cousin said, yeah, we know. Our mother used to take Mary Arita to her doctor's appointments. They took a trip to Japan together. Really. They went on major trips all over the country with each other. They were really good friends. So we used to run down the street and we'd play with their kids. And so the Sugiyama kids, Charmin's cousins, and the Arita family kids, they used to play, right on the block, running up and down the block together. So I shared this story with the Arita family at the end of the service. And as I told the stories, they're really, right? They were amazed, just as I was amazed, okay? And I was connected to this family through my wife, Charmin. So Auntie Elaine Sugiyama, the Sugiyama cousins who lived a few houses away, and here at the temple, we call this causes and conditions coming together, right? Infinite causes and conditions, or Goen, right? Fortuitous encounters. So quite often we find these kind of connections, right? In English, this is what we call serendipity, right? But it's more than that. And I think the Buddhist term, the Japanese terms, have that Buddhist sense, and it connects us. It's not just something interesting or unique that happened to me, but our interconnectedness that we share and we find again and again and again. Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion in number, shine brilliantly from within each flower. There's no place they do not reach. So when we recite Namu Amida Butsu, the Nembutsu calls and awakens us to the interconnection of all things that make up our lives. The Shotsuki service allows us to recognize our bodhisattvas. The people we lose are our bodhisattvas, whether it's grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad, okay? Good, dear friends. They are our bodhisattvas. They step forward out of the infinite, connected with Amida. They're part of Amida, and they step forward. Namu Amida Butsu. We're connected again. We receive their light and the light of Amida, and we pass it on to someone sitting right next to us. Okay. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. That was a really thoughtful Dharma message. It's really good. And now, please stand for the Gatha Ondukusan on page 220. Please be seated. So, for acknowledgments, I'd like to thank all who helped with the altar preparation for the service. Reverend Dennis, YouTube, that was Brian, made that happen. Altar flowers, Jackie, Dorothy, and Lenny. And to all those who brought refreshments to today's memorial service. Do we have any newcomers? Anyone new? Hello, welcome.
What is your name? Want to introduce
Anyone
yourself?
else?
You've been here
Yeah.
before, but yeah.
Yeah, we've been here before, but I'm Elaine, who's the guitarist, my husband Todd. I work for the organ business.
Oh, well, thank you. Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we have a couple of announcements. Next Sunday, February 9, Eitaikyo and Nirvana Day Service and Birthday Sunday. Then on the 16th is the family service and the ABWA New Year's Eve luncheon at Pier 29. And today will be the last day to RSVP and see Kimberly for, paying. Okay, and on the 23rd will be the family service and Ask Reverend Dennis. And it'll be a nice documentary film right after the service called Alternative Facts, The Lies of Executive Order 9066. And that will be in observance of the Day of Remembrance. Are there any other announcements? Don't speak up all at once.
I have one.
No? Do you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So in a month, on March 2nd is our BCA, that's the end of our National Council meetings that we have annually. And on that Sunday, they have a Eitaikyo service and a closing program. This is going to be shown at every temple. So each temple within BCA are not having their own individual temple services, but are encouraged to gather here and watch the service together. I think we might show it in the social hall where it'll be a little bit more comfortable, and probably there'll be some munchies there and coffee and tea and such, so maybe a little bit more comfortable. But similar to today, we will be chanting the Amida Kyo. This year's National Council is being provided, organized, coordinated by the Bay District. And so the Bay District ministers have been working to create the service program. And so this is all our efforts, the different ministers in the Bay District, to put this together, and our choice to chant the Amida Kyo. And we're going to chant the whole thing, not the abbreviated half that we do here. So the whole thing. It's not that much longer, but it sure is fun. So please, hopefully, I think Jane and Howard are supposed to be registered for the meetings, but others, I think it's going to be coordinated, so everything is open here, and the thing will be shown. The Eitaikyo service will be shown, and there are other events during the course of the week before and the week, a few days prior, special workshops and sessions that are open to the public that will be shown and available. You can see them at home or see them at the temple. So these are opportunities to learn what's going on at the national level and information that is helpful at pretty much all our temples. So a lot will be going on at the end of this month and the very beginning of next month. So because of that, our own Shotsuki service will be 1 week later. So the March Shotsuki will be on the second Sunday and not the first Sunday. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
The usual service is at 10. Okay.
So thank you for attending this morning. So please come up and do Oshoko and join us for refreshments in the social hall after. And have a really wonderful new week, everyone.
My part.